A few days ago, I met a Hispanic family, a grandmother, her daughter, two nephews, and two grandchildren who were about as cute as children are legally allowed to be. They were speaking Spanish among themselves. Their English had a noticeable accent, but somehow they didn't quite look Mexican to me. So I became curious about where they were from. I actually ask people this reasonably often, not because I particularly care whether somebody was born here or somewhere else. Almost the opposite. If someone tells me they're from Colombia, Guatemala, Venezuela, or El Salvador, Spain, wherever, usually I know something about the country or at least have something to ask. And suddenly a conversation about weather and Houston traffic can become a little more interesting. So I asked where they were from. We are from here, the grandmother said after a half-second fumble. Houston? I said. Yes. And I quietly killed that line of conversation and took us somewhere else. I was still curious. I could easily have said, no, I mean originally, or where is your family from? But I didn't, because I have seen the videos. I have seen the memes, comedy sketches, little stories where somebody asks an Asian American, Hispanic American, Middle Eastern American, where are you from? Chicago. No, where are you really from? Chicago? No, I mean, where are your parents from? Until eventually, we tunneled through enough generations to extract the foreign country we were looking for. Now, I don't know whether this grandmother would actually have been offended, maybe not at all. My intention certainly wasn't offensive. I wanted to know more about her precisely because I wanted to make a deeper connection. But afterward, something occurred to me. This was an event that did not happen because social media had already exposed me repeatedly to the experiences of people I had never met. And that made me wonder, how many other little social frictions are quietly not happening every day for exactly the same reason? For most of human history, physical separation also meant informational separation. You knew your family, neighbors, co-workers, people in your village or neighborhood, books, newspapers, and eventually television widened that world. But now something historically rather strange has happened. We carry millions of strangers in our pockets. I may never had an autistic colleague, but I can hear autistic people describing what a workplace feels like to them. I may never had lived with somebody suffering from depression, but I can hear someone explain why something that looks like laziness from outside feels completely different from inside. I may never have been an American repeatedly asked where I am really from, but after the 7th video, 3rd joke, and 15th meme, I know something I didn't know before. Nobody gave me a lecture. Nobody made me take a diversity course. I may have learned it while sitting on a toilet scrolling Facebook. Civilization have probably advanced through less dignified mechanisms. And there is actual research suggesting that the underlying mechanism is real. Decades of research on what psychologists call intergroup contact show that contact with people from other groups tends, under many circumstances, to reduce prejudice. More recent research suggests that online contact can do some of that too. And over the same broad historical period, some American teachers have changed almost beyond recognition. In 1958, when Gallup asked Americans whether they approved of marriage between black and white people, only 4% said yes. By 2021, 94%. 94%. I'm certainly not saying social media caused that. Much of the change began before social media existed. Laws changed, schools changed, workplaces changed, television changed, generations changed. But all these things do something similar. They reduce distance. And perhaps social media is an extraordinarily powerful machine for reduce one particular kind of distance: informational distance. From far away, there are Muslims, immigrants, gay people, conservatives, disabled people come closer and the category starts misbehaving. This Muslim drinks, that atheist prays when the airplane shakes. The immigrant dislikes immigration. The conservative has a transgender daughter. The gay couple argues about whose turn it is to empty the dishwasher. Two Bangladeshis can spend 40 minutes arguing about whether something technically qualifies as biryani. Stereotypes thrive at low resolution. Human beings are inconveniently high resolution objects. And perhaps simply seeing enough ordinary human beings makes some kind of otherness harder to maintain. But here is the strange part. If this is actually happening, we may be unusually bad at noticing it. Recently, I heard Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about how much quieter airplanes have become. And suddenly I remembered, yes, there was a time when an airplane flying overhead could interrupt a recording. You heard it coming, you stopped, you waited. I don't remember when I stopped doing that. I don't remember when I stopped doing that. The FAA estimates that between 1975 and 2000, the number of Americans exposed to significant aviation noise fell by about 90%, partly because aircraft became quieter. Yet, I never noticed this enormous improvement happening. Of course, I didn't. How do you notice a noise that stops occurring? How do you notice a noise that stops occurring? And perhaps social improvement has exactly the same problem. When somebody asks an offensive question, something happens. You remember it, you tell your friends, maybe you post about it. But suppose 20 years ago, 30 people would have asked that question and today only 10 would. We encountered the 10. The missing 20 leave nothing behind. There is no Facebook post titled, "Today a stranger who would once have said something offensive to me didn't." Today a stranger who would once have said something offensive to me didn't. That doesn't happen. Problems creates events. Some solutions creates absences. Now, there is an important caution here. Social media is certainly not simply a tolerance machine. The same network that shows me the ordinary life of somebody completely unlike me can also show me the most horrible person belonging to that group. Algorithms can magnify outrage. Research suggests that people even overestimate how angry and hostile other groups are from what they see online. So perhaps social media is better understood not as a machine for tolerance, but as a machine for destroying informational distance. And distance can collapse in either direction. I can discover that the stranger is surprisingly like me, or I can be shown the worst thing anybody resembling that stranger has ever done. But despite all that, I wonder whether we are missing something important by keeping only a ledger of the damage. What misunderstandings have quietly become rarer? What assumptions that were perfectly normal 20 years ago now embarrass us? How many conversations go better because one person has already heard the other person's experience from somebody else? How many innocent ignorances have simply become obsolete? I don't know. Perhaps we cannot know easily because we notice the airplanes that still roar overhead. Every once in a while, perhaps it is worth listening to the ones we can no longer hear.